Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing a tier list of all the Nerf and Strike Elite blasters as of 2020, I believe, 2020. There's a few blasters that aren't here like the Double Down. I didn't make this tier list. Lesna Productions sent it to me so I could do my own because I didn't agree with many of his rankings. So I'll be ranking them all today. This video might be a little bit long, so please like and subscribe. It would really help me. So the first we have the Rampage. This is the Europe version, and I like the Rampage. What it needed was a stock when it came with it, so I'm gonna put it up in A tier. I love the Rampage. Some people don't like the side loading, but I absolutely love it. It doesn't jam much on me, so I'm gonna keep it at A tier for now. Next up, we have the Ruckus. I don't really like the Ruckus much, so I'm gonna put it at D tier. It could be better, but it's just not my gimmick. Next, we have the Rough Cut, probably the best shotgun there is in my opinion, better than the Judge. But sometimes darts will pop out, so just for that, I'm gonna put it at B tier. Next, the Alpha Trooper, probably the best Nerf pump action Springer. I love and dig this thing, so I'm gonna put it at A tier, better than the Rampage. Next up, the Scout. I've seen this, haven't held it, but it's just like a 4-shot pistol. Like, it's not a great pistol. There's other better options out there, so I'm gonna put it at D tier. Next, we have I think it's the Bowstrike. I think it's the Bowstrike. It's just a single shot pistol with a weird gimmick. Just get a Joel if you want a better single shot pistol, so it goes on D tier. Next is the Cam ECS 12. It's a great blaster, but the camera isn't great. Like, the functionality is good, but just because that camera doesn't work, I would move it to E tier. I would move it higher if the camera was at least 720p, because that would be awesome. Like, camera quality is awful. It's like 480p or something like that. Next is the Crossbolt. This is a decent blaster. It's one of my cousin's favorite blasters. So just for that, I'm gonna move it at E tier. But a lot of people don't like this, so that's why I put it at E tier. Next is the Demolisher 2-in-1. This is a semi-auto blaster, and it also has the missile launcher, which is pretty cool, but the missile launcher takes up a ton of space. Some people don't like it, some people like minimizing it, but move it at B tier. Next is the Disruptor. I personally like the Disruptor better than the Strong Arm. I'm gonna put this at A tier. It's one of the best sidearms you could have. Next is the Fire Strike. I like this blaster. It's a very good single shot pistol. The laser's not the greatest, but like, I mean, what did you really expect from Nerf? I'm gonna put it at B tier. If the light was better, I would move it up to A tier. So yeah, that's the Fire Strike. Next is the legendary Jolt. The Jolt is a very overrated blaster. Personally, I like the Triad better. I'm gonna move it at A tier because you can't really go wrong with a Jolt. Next is the Raven. I really dig this blaster. I'm gonna move it up to S tier. Some people don't like the stock, but I love the stock, and I like it with the Retaliator attachments, the Retaliator barrel and foregrip. Next is the Hailfire. This is a meh blaster. It holds a lot of mags, but the rotation isn't very reliable, so I'm gonna move it at E tier. Next is the Sure Strike. It's just a single shot pistol with a big scope. I would prefer a strong arm, and this is like $15, so I wouldn't buy this. I'm gonna move it at D tier. Next is the Hyperfire. It's a full auto blaster. It's decent. Like, I mean, the full auto is actually kind of good, but you won't get very good ranges. Like, if you do continuous full auto, you'll get like 50 FPS. I'm gonna move it to B tier because it does not like old darts like at all. So that's why I'm gonna move it to B tier. Next is the Infamous. Full auto, and then you could put darts in the bag to load it. I've had this blaster before. I like it. It's a decent full auto, 80 FPS, and the drum is not the most reliable, and sometimes it will have a feeding issue, a hiccup once in a while, but not that often. So I'm gonna move it to A tier. But yeah, better than the Rampage, but not better than the Alpha Trooper. Next is the Elite Joel. I'm gonna put in the same spot. Basically the same thing, great triggers. Next is the European Fire Strike. It's the same thing as the Elite one. Next is the Delta Trooper. I have one in my workbench that I'm fixing right now. I like the Retaliator better, has a better grip, has better ergonomics. I'm gonna move it to E tier. I would put a Retaliator a bit over that. Next is the what is this called? It's the I forgot the name. Yeah, Dual Strike. Okay, I forgot the name for like 2 seconds, but now I remember. It's the Dual Strike. It's a okay blaster. The elite darts, like most of the time, the first two was shotgun, and then the first one will actually fire, and it works pretty well. It's doesn't work that great, but it has good modability. Like you could get these things at like 200 FPS because of their big plunger tubes. Just for that, I'm gonna move it at B tier, but like the end of B tier, just for its modability, because you could get those to shoot pretty hard if you do the right modifications. Next is the long shot. This isn't the greatest blaster, to be honest. Stock, but modded, these are awesome. The front gun is horrible. It does not have good ranges, and yeah, if you're gonna make this stock, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're gonna mod it, I definitely recommend it. Just for the modability, I'm gonna move it at E tier. Next is the Surge Fire. Some people have hiccups of it slam firing, but when I got this like 2-3 years ago, I didn't have those issues. Maybe because I wasn't slam firing that fast. Just buy a Villainator. It's a lot better blaster. I'm gonna move it at E tier. I think that's where it belongs. Next we have the Triad. I love this blaster. The best pocket secondary. So just for that, S tier. The ARs don't really pop out, like make the darts pop out on me too much. Like even with that, it's better than the Jolt. It's the best pocket pistol, as I've said. So that's why I moved it at S tier. Next is the Orange Alpha Trooper. The stock isn't the greatest, but it's a good blaster. Like you can't go wrong with Alpha Troopers. They're pretty good. I'm gonna put it at A tier. It's basically the same thing. Next is the Strife. Strife, S tier. Always. Next is the Pocket Strike. Just get a Jolt or a Triad. Seriously. Like, and these don't have much power. Like, what are you gonna get from that plunger tube? That's a C tier. Next is the Quadrant. I didn't know they had an elite version of this. It's okay blaster. Like, I would prefer a Strong Arm or Disruptor. I'm gonna put it at D tier. There's better things on the market. Next is the Rampage. I like the Rampage. I'm gonna put it at A tier. Next, the Rapid Strike. A very good blaster. Even stock isn't. I know that stock doesn't have the greatest rate of fire. The mag will last you a good chunk of the battle, so you don't have to reload that much. I'm gonna put it at A tier. And if you mod these things, they're a beast. I've modded one just with a 9-volt battery. Even with that, the rate of fire and accuracy and range improved a little bit. But if you could put like a new flywheel cage, new motors, new flywheels, pusher motor, like those could get a very good rate of fire, and they're very awesome. Next is the Raven. These have solvent weld in them, the Coles version. So just because it has solvent weld, I'm gonna put it at A tier. They do not want you to get in that thing. And the paint scheme isn't the greatest. It's just kind of plain, honestly. And it's like $60. That's too much. Next is the Recon. The ECQ version, I think. I think that's what it's called. I like the Recon. It's a decent blaster. I prefer a Retaliator. I think it has better ergonomics. Basically the same internals, but it has no stock for some reason. and the barrel is kind of weird. So I'll put it at B tier. I think it's a better blaster than even the Delta Trooper. Next is the Retaliator. These things are pretty good. They have pretty good modability, and the attachments are pretty awesome. So just because for the attachments, and it's just a good blaster. Like, you can't go wrong with this blaster. Like, Retaliators are good. Next is the Rhino Fire. I don't even have to say anything. Just, yeah, almost a failure. Next is a Sharp Fire. This blaster is just bad. Single shot breech loaded blaster, like 50, 60 FPS. I kind of want to put in failure, but does it really get the failure? I'm gonna put it at C. I'm gonna put it at C tier. Next is, I forgot this blaster's name, but it came in a 2-pack, and they made a Zombie Strike and an Aggie Strike version of it. Oh no, it's the Side Strike. Yeah, it's the Side Strike. It's an okay blaster. Move it to D tier. Just get a Fire Strike. It's a bit better. I'm put it at, I think E tier is good. The grip is a little small. That's why I didn't put it at B tier. Next is the Sling Fire. Absolutely horrible blaster. Just get a normal blaster. Why get it? Why get that? It's bad. Next is the Snapfire. The grip is uncomfortable. Ranges are really bad. It's like 40 FPS. I've used this one, and it's not good at all whatsoever. Is it even worth modding? Who knows? It's a complete failure. Just at least make it have a bit better performance. At least make a better grip. But no, it's just bad. Next is a Spectre. Spectre barrel is awesome. Like, everyone wants to get that thing. Just for the barrel, I'm gonna put it at E tier. Next is the Split Strike. It's a okay blaster. Like, if you're gonna use it as 2 blasters, it's not comfortable. It's only 2 shots and it's pretty long, but just for its modability, I'm gonna put it at E tier. You could get those things at 200 FPS as well, because they have big plunger tubes. Next is the Stockade. I've been wanting one of these. The stock is really good. I'm gonna move it to E tier. A lot of blasters are going on E tier. Next is the Stratobow. Some people have problems with it, some people don't. It's a little hard to aim. I'm gonna move it at D tier. It isn't the worst blaster. Some people skip darts, but mine does not skip darts. Like, hasn't skipped 1 dart on me. So that's why I'm putting it at D tier. Next is the Strong Arm. I like the Disruptor better, but, like, I mean, it's still a good blaster. I'm gonna move it at B tier. Next is the Strife CQ10. For the attachments, it boosts up to like $40 compared to a $25, $30 Strife. So I'm gonna move it to the best of A tier. Move the best of A tier. Almost an S tier blaster. The Elite Strife. Yeah, like, it's one of the best blasters out there. The Strife. Next is the Titan. Very big drum. Man, rate of fire is like 1 or 2 darts a second. That's really slow. For a minigun, $89. Get a Percy's or something. It's on a lot better blaster. But I'll prefer even an Infinus. But just for the drum, E tier. A ton of blasters are going to E tier. Next is the Trilogy. Just made me realize that they didn't put the Shell Strike in here. I didn't make this tier list, so that's why it's not in here. So the Trilogy, it's okay shotgun. If you want to get a shotgun, I say get the rough cut 100%. If you want to get a shotgun, this isn't the worst option. I guess it's the option in the market for right now. You could get extra shells. So, man, I'm going to put it at D tier. Next is the Double Fire. Pretty bad shotgun. Honestly, not very good. C tier. So that wraps it up. This is my tier list. On S tier, we have the Strife, Raven, and Triad. A tier, we have the Strife, Raven, Alpha Trooper, Infinus, Rampage, Rapid Strike, Disruptor, and Jolts. B tier, we have the Retaliator, the Rough Cut, the Demolisher, both Fire Strikes, Hyperfire, Double Strike. No, is that the Recon? Disruptor. On E tier, we have the ECS-12, Crossbolt, the Hellfire, the Delta Trooper, the Longshot, the Surgefire, the Sidestrike, the Spectre, the Split Strike, the Stockade, and the Titan. On D tier, we have the Ruckus, I forgot this name, the Bow Strike, the Sure Strike, the Quadrant, the Stratobow, and the Trilogy. On C tier, we have the Pocket Strike, the Rhino Fire, I forgot the name at the moment. I'm saying all these blasters. Double Fire. On F tier, complete failures, we have the Snapfire and that bow. I'm forgetting a few of the names because I'm saying all the names of these blasters. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And see you guys later. Bye.